So this is how to remove and set up your Hydralign sail drive left-hand junior model propeller. So you have to recognise first that whether it is left or right hand. This one's set up in left hand because the leading edge is the straight edge and the trailing edge the round edge. When it looks like this and it rotating anti-clockwise would be pushing the boat forwards, in reverse rotating clockwise pulling the boat backwards. So you put it into that forwards position, then you remove the 8 socket-headed cap screws from around the circumference there. I've just got one in. Then with applying a little bit of pressure on the blades, like so, just giving them a little rattle back and forth, you pull the blade assembly away from the drive collar. You do that pressure so that this pinion doesn't fall out. If that pinion falls out, then you've lost what pitch you were set on, although it's recorded in your prop book. So in this case, left hand, 2 dots on the pinion. If there's only a single dot on the pinion, then for left hand it's the datum as well. But in this case there's 2 dots on the pinion, it's against the datum here. If it was to the left of the datum or anti-clockwise from the datum to the 2, that would be +2 for left hand because that's the direction of rotation. If it was in the opposite direction to the 2, that would be -2 for left hand. Once the pinion comes out, there's a small flat-headed screw that needs to come out. It locks the propeller nut, and then the propeller nut can be unscrewed and the hub slides off as usual. Then when you're reassembling, you've got to make sure you put the line cutter on in any spaces that were behind the propeller, or in front of the propeller rather. The nut goes back on, the little cheese-headed screw goes in, beautiful. Then you make sure, with your nut in position, that the pinion with the 2 dots for left hand, if it has 2 dots, or the single dot for left hand if it only has a single dot on the pinion, lines up where it was when it came apart. That all goes together. Then you've got to make sure that the hub itself, that's the bit that mates with the spline, is rotating anti-clockwise in the left hand direction, and the collar rotates clockwise until you hit the stop. Find the datum on the collar. Then there's datum marks down the side of the propeller. On the blades there's also a datum which lines up with the dot on the body, so it's an L stamped on the blade next to the dot on the body. When they all line up, you've got the correct position for the blades. With all those datums lined up, you slide the propeller together, put one screw in, and just check that when the blade propeller is feathered, the blades line up. If they don't line up, one of the blades is one tooth out on that pinion gear in the middle. That's how to reassemble. Then you put the 8 socket-headed cap screws back in, tighten them up, and you're good to go. It's the same for 2 and 3 bladed propellers. Fantastic.